really, really huge. And something else I want to say, we're also working on the Chinese presentation. We have some people who speak Chinese, and also Hebrew. So this is some, and French. So this is like three markets that we're investing our effort right now. So Boris and I, we speak fluently Hebrew, so it's another language. I do speak some Spanish too. I guess Hebrew is better, but anyway, Spanish, I don't know. But this is a market where we're right now working, and we actually, Boris was talking with Rob, and we're putting it on our webinars presentation, so we're adding those two languages. I guess it's a huge market to cover as well.
Absolutely.
So thank you so much again. We are really, this is really, really exciting news. And I just can't wait to hear more and about June International Convention. It should be somewhere outside of US and Canada for sure. So just pick an awesome destination. And if it's Punta Cana, it still sounds good.
Yeah, we stayed in Punta Cana. It's so cool. You know, we shot some testimonials and on the beach and then down on the pier and in the gazebo up on the spa. I mean, it was like.
And Barcela Resort, actually, this is resort where I usually go. It used to be, you know, they bought out a lot of hotels over there. It used to be Breezes before, and then it became Barcela. So, I mean, it is a great location for sure.
Yeah, it was a great spot. The testimonies that were born, you guys, we're obviously compiling those. We're going to be putting those up on the website. You know, we've got them in Spanish and in English, and oh, I mean, my heart breaks. I mean, you guys, you got to understand. You ask these guys, I was just a big crybaby down there. I'm just, you know, most of the videos you can see me and I'm crying and getting all over myself. I was a mess. You know, it just really, you know, it plucked my heart, and I feel for people. And I know this is a divine company for a much, much bigger purpose than what we can even imagine.
You softy.
I know, dude.
You're just a big wuss, huh?
I am.
Hey, you know what? I want to give a shout out to Rob Hanley too. Rob, I want to thank you for bringing this team to MyFunLIFE, and then doing one bigger than that. You took one for the team. You stayed behind to support the customer service and work on the changes for October 1st, and that was a big act. But I appreciate that, and you're definitely going out there next time. But you know, for anybody who didn't know that, you know, it was really a team player move, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, you know, if it wasn't for Rob Hanley joining MyFunLIFE and reaching out and making that phone call to Huascar Lopez, none of that would have happened. You wouldn't see that picture of us standing there. You know, it's because of those contacts that we have. And you guys, I say this over and over, but it's our fiduciary responsibility. It's kind of like illegal, you know, an attorney has a fiduciary responsibility to his client. You guys, I feel I have a fiduciary responsibility to God to manifest this company, to make it happen for his children, for his kids, that we could bring such an amazing business, a business model that we can influence and impact people's lives in the way we're able to do it. And it's not us, you guys. It's not us doing it. It's the Lord doing it. And we're just stewards.
Hey, Dan.
Say that again. Say that again.
Dan, not to take you off a roll or anything like that, but you know, yesterday everybody flew out of Seattle, so yeah, I really did obviously miss going down there, and you know, like you said, somebody needed to be to you know, to stay back and as well, and I was really grateful that everybody stopped by my house yesterday. You literally have to drive past my house to go back to Coeur d'Alene, and they all went out of Seattle, and so we had about an hour yesterday. That it was the first time that my wife got to meet, you know, any of the Edwards. The only one that she'd met before of any of the whole crew that was here was Ron last November, last Thanksgiving. But my wife just obviously loved everybody, loved the whole family, you know, the whole 57 children that were here, and you know, she couldn't get over, by the way, how well I told my wife. I go, God, I swear, I've never seen a family that is, more. I don't know if impressive is the right word, or, you know, whatever. It's not. It almost sounds like it's like Stepford Wives or Freaky or something like that. But you know, when you stay at their house, there's no cussing, there's no yelling, there's no screaming, there's no sarcasm from anybody. The kids get along. And, honestly, that's not how it is at my house. My wife just loved everybody. My kids fight like cats and dogs, it seems like. But anyhow, and so there was the teary-eyed, there's the teary-eyed moments that I've just loved about Dan. That's why I'm razzing about being big wuss, because that's what I love about him, in that regard. But with all of that said, so first of all, thank you for coming over. It made a huge impact on my wife, by the way, and she just fell in love with all of you. If you could, though, share, and then maybe not your intention, and probably not what the meeting is here, and it's not necessarily like about you, but I was so impressed about what you told me about making away with this woman from the resort, this massage therapist, Dan. It blew me away, and that's, I think, is really cool in terms of what company we're involved in.
Hmm. Well, it's
If
very
that's
emotional
okay.
for me.
I know that's maybe kind of personal, but it really impacted us.
When we go out to resorts, I love to go and enjoy the spa and things like that, and get massages. And my wife and we do it, and our kids go. And you know, I went and my massage therapist. She was actually her name is Amanda. She wasn't supposed to. She wasn't in the cycle to get a massage. She was supposed to have someone else, and um, but the gal, I guess she got bumped, and so she didn't get to go do the other spa service that she was going to do, and so she got me, and she speaks probably 10 words of English, and I don't speak hardly any words of Spanish, poquito. That's all I know really, and hola, muy bien, that just the real informal stuff, and she and I started having a conversation. And, it's kind of like the conversation Abraham and I have. He doesn't speak English. I don't speak Spanish, but we can have a conversation. And, I try to stay spiritually in tune to discover things and that the Heavenly Father wants me to discover. And we had this great conversation with this gal, and we only said just a few words. But what I got out of that was that she's 24 years old. Her dad passed away 2 years ago. She has 6 brothers and sisters and her mom. And she takes care of each one of those people on $167 a month. She spends an hour each direction on a bus to come from her city to the resort to Punta Cana. She puts in her time, and then she heads back on the bus and she goes back home. And she does that every day. And so the second day I went back in there and I asked for her because I was troubled by what we had talked about. And she had given me her phone number because I told her I help people. She asked what I did. She asked if I was a doctor. I said no. I said I help people. And so so she's like, can you help me? And I know that she's going against the rules of the resort to be even asking that to the But I was like more forthcoming, saying, I help people, I can help you. She goes, you help me? And I said, yeah, dinero. And I help you make money. And so that she said, I want to give you my phone number. So she gave me her telephone number. And bless Waskar's help, I summoned Waskar to help be my translator. Um, we invited her out to that meeting that was put on by Pedro, and she drove. She got on a bus, spent her money, came an hour to the resort. She couldn't find us. She hopped back on the bus because she didn't want to miss the last bus to get back home. But she waited for a period of time, went all the way back home, spent her last bit of money again. And we called her after the meeting and said, where are you? Amanda, how come you didn't come? She says, I was there. I couldn't find you guys. And you can just hear the desperation in her voice, the desire. I mean, it's just. So I said, I want to pay you for, for coming out there and spending your money. And she's like, no, you don't have to. And so the next day I went in, I got another massage, and I asked for her. And and then let's see, during the in the morning I had her come back out. She took a bus out early. She came out to the mall because we can't meet her at the resort because she works there. They're not allowed on property, any of the staff. And Waskar and I, and my wife and my kids, we went down to the mall, and we met her there. And Waskar proceeded to share My Fun Life with her. And she got so excited. You guys, she does not have internet. She doesn't have email. She doesn't have a computer. But she knows people, she said, and she knows she can have success with this. And she knows it can change her life. And I said, we took a bunch of pictures and things like that. I wish I had some pictures I could put up on the screen right now and show you her. She's this beautiful little gal, and she just fell in love with our family. But the first concern she had was if my wife was okay that I was actually meeting with another female, which was so commendable and so the right question. And so what we decided after the second massage, later that night I had a massage by her, and I asked her if I could come and take a photo of her sukasa, which is her home. And I said I want to do a documentary, and I got Waskar back on the phone after she got off work that night, and got approval with her so that we could come over and do a documentary. I had my video guy, and so we had our team down there, and she says, yeah. I said, because here's what I want to do, Amanda. I said, I want to bring you back to my house, and I want to have you work for our company, and I want to take care of you because you take care of your family. And I don't know how you do it on that kind of money, all those people. And I said, but I'd like for you to come back and learn how to speak English. And I want you to help teach us how to speak Spanish. You can help nanny my kids. You're a massage therapist. You can work for my salon. I've got a salon where we do tanning, and we have a massage in there. And so you can work there. You can work for MyFunLIFE. You can help us out. There's plenty of things I can do. I can get you to do to help you out. And so this whole thing started evolving that we're working on getting her passport, her visa, and we're gonna try to get her and her brother up here to work for our companies. And we're doing a documentary on her life. We came in, we videotaped her city, we videotaped her house, a very, very tiny little home. She basically has 2 rooms in it. You've got the entry when you walk in. It's a kitchen, dining room, little area. You walk through a little veil of material, and you go into her bedroom. There's a bed, a little dresser. There's a little TV that was playing, and a fan. You know, it doesn't really get cooler than 79 degrees at night. With the humidity, it still feels like 85, 86. If 85, I checked the weather today, it said 80, 86 degrees with 98. But it feels like 98 because of the humidity. And that's her comfort zone. We walked over to her fridge. I videotaped her fridge, and there's no food in there besides one platter of food that she had prepared for us because she knew she was going to have some guests in her home. She went to the market and she picked up a small thing of crackers and some cheese and some little meat. She took her time and put a toothpick on each one of those and prepared the food for us. I would tell you what, for somebody that doesn't have and yet that still gives is a godly principle. That young woman deserves to have MyFunLIFE in her life. You guys, there are millions and millions of her across the world. It is my quest, my personal quest, to see to it that we reach out to these people and give them an opportunity that they've never had in their life before. They are so hungry for it. They're hungry for change. They're hungry for something different. And we have that. You are the leaders on this call for MyFunLIFE. It is our fiduciary responsibility to our fellow man to bring forth this message of the good find that you have found and the good find that we are creating day by day, hour by hour. We're all working so hard to try to get this coming manifested. And we're like on track and on target. You guys, I've got a vision of something so huge, I cannot share it with you, of where MyFunLIFE is going to be. It was inspired when I was talking to our chief visionary officer out on our deck before we left for the Dominican Republic. And I've had time to reminisce and think about it. And I'll tell you this. MyFunLIFE will be a household name in every country of the world. Everyone will know or have heard of MyFunLIFE, and more likely, they will be doing business with us. Governments will embrace us. They will love us, and they too will be part of MyFunLIFE. We have some huge things coming our way. And I'm so glad that you guys are our leaders, that you're here from day one to be part of this. We want to make sure that we dot every I and cross our T's, because we have got something so truly special being at this level we're at right now, having what we have. We don't need the future stuff that I'm talking about to get where we need to be. We've got it right now. But I'm telling you, every day is going to get better and better and better because of you guys as our leaders out there, to be able to share this message and pass it on throughout the world. So this documentary, we're going to keep and stay on every step of the way, so that we don't want to let this little girl down. We don't want to let her family down. She shared it in the documentary, in her testimony. She said, look, I wouldn't go to America if it was for me, but I'm going there for my family, because if I can make a difference for me, I can make a difference for my family. I asked her brother, I said, I would like for you to come out here, come to Americana as well. And he said, if you would accept me, I would be forever grateful to you. He said, and even if you don't, I will still be grateful because you took my sister. those kind words, if we could share those words and speak those words every day in our life, we could be a different people. One thing I mentioned in the meeting when we were in Punta Cana, Pedro put that meeting together. I said, you know something? I said, we are all equal. I said, I don't care where you come from in the world. I don't care how much money you're making. I don't care what religion you are. I don't care what you do, how you are, how you act. I said, but when you slice open your skin, we all bleed the same red. That's the commonality that we have. That proves that we are all brothers and sisters. We are all from the same mold. We are all human beings. We are all human beings with a purpose. It is our job to gather up our brothers and sisters and help them. And that's what this business is about, is helping. So guys, every time we make a change, every time we have anything that comes up, we ask ourselves first and foremost, will it help the people in MyFunLIFE? If we say yes, then we'll ask the next question, will MyFunLIFE be okay making that change? If we say yes, then we take it to our leaders. If our leaders support and embrace it, then we'll take it to our people. That's the rules. That's what we have set up. That's our method of change, our method of moving forward, our method of taking care of everybody involved. So, I love your input, you guys. I love you for your support. I love each one of you guys. Constantinos, I know you're on the call right now. You have been on my mind since I've left for the Dominican Republic. I don't know what it is, brother, but you are on my mind, and I cannot get it out, and I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is that I need to come out there, but I want you to know that. I don't know why you are, but all I know that every day, I think about you. And I think about your team, and I think about your people. And I think we need to have a discussion, because there's something pulling me to have a discussion with you, because I think there's something important, some important business that we need to take care of. And I don't know if it's you, or if it's your country calling, or what. But all I do is I feel something very strong with you.
Thank you very much. I think it's me calling. I really want to talk with you.
Excellent. If you want to talk on here, we can. If you want to talk privately, we can. But we need to speak.
No, I really believe what you are trying to do. I believe you personally. I like how you speak and what you say. And I really like the idea of this company, so I am very committed. I'm sure we will have a chance to talk sometime.
I know we will. Thank you for your kind words. I really appreciate that. You guys, we got some exciting times ahead of us. When we have our national convention, I'm telling you, we're gonna have an amazing meeting. The friendships that we're gonna develop, and I'm telling you what, I don't want to go away and leave any meeting without, embracing, hugging, shaking your hand. I don't care what it is. I want to see you guys. I want to meet each one of you personally. I want to meet your teams. I want to meet your families. That was such a highlight for me. The guy in that picture right there on the far right, Billy, that guy is amazing. He is so focused on life. That guy is a rock star in the network marketing industry. He was in a company. He was earning well over $20,000 a month when we got there. You guys, he resigned from that company when we were there in his town to show his commitment to MyFunLIFE. I told him, don't do it. You keep that money, keep that income coming in. He says, I can't. He says, I can't hold myself back from talking to my downline. He says, I owe it to my downline. I owe it to my team to walk away because I now know what My Fun Life is about. Because that guy right there, he's the reason why his relationship is why we're in that room right there with the minister. He set that up. His sister works for that man right there. And he was able to leverage his contacts to put us in front of him, which is going to help every country throughout the world. We've got the Dominican Republic support and the symbol on our website. I mean, you think the United States would do that for us? Heck no. They don't care about us like that. They don't care about business. They care about their themselves and their own agendas. That guy cares about his country. He cares about tourism and bringing, more wealth to that nation. He wants to get his people out of the poverty. Rod said it best when we were out there. He said, 80% of the world lives on, less than $10 a day of income. I think it's even worse than that. Rod, if you're on, will you correct me? What is it? 80% of the world population live on how much?
Yeah, you're exactly right, Dan. $10 a day, 80% of the population. That's part of our map.
$10 a day.
Our map statistics. So, yeah, I think that's what was so special about the Dominican Republic was the way they don't take My Fun Life for granted. They really relish it. Like it's finally there's an opportunity that they can afford to participate in, where so many of these other companies they can't. The price points are out of their reach. They truly have embraced My Fun Life like nothing I've ever seen before. They're so thankful for it. They're so passionate about it, and it showed in their faces and in the numbers of people that came out to find out about My Fun Life, and they're joining like crazy, and they're all getting that fast start club. That's how they can afford to do it. They're going to get that 21 and pretty soon $25 back that first week. That way they can afford to do it. So yeah, but when you realize 80% of the population is going to be in that category where $21 is significant, or $25 is significant, and I think we've truly got something. I think that our eyes were opened up as a corporate team going into the Dominican, because so many people are in the United States. They take there's so many opportunities. Guys can go sell cars and make $4,000, $5,000 a month. There's so many things people can do to make money, and you see what the rest of the world has to do to try to make a living, even a couple $100 a month. You realize how we can bless the world, millions and millions of people's lives, maybe even more significant than what we can do here in the United States. Maybe it is those third world countries all over the world that are waiting to embrace My Fun Life. So it was definitely a very heartfelt, eye-opening experience for us as a corporate team. It changed every one of us to be there.
Rod, that I appreciate your words. On the way back, we were driving back from Seattle last night, and I got on the phone with a friend of mine from church. He's a dentist. He says, he's been going to the Dominican Republic ever since he got licensed as a dentist. He goes there for 2 weeks every year. He's only missed 1 year where he went to overseas. He went to another country, India. Thank you. He went to India, and every year he's gone back to Dominican Republic, and he goes there and he does free work for 2 weeks. He says he's got a friend there, a guy that he knows. This guy, he earns $1 a day. He walks 15 miles barefoot out through the farm to get to work to earn $1. He comes back into his little community. He's got enough money to buy beans and rice for his family for the day. The next day he turns around and does the same thing day after day after day. He doesn't have enough money for a pair of shoes, you guys. I want to go into these communities. I want to have these trips with a purpose. Where we can go to these countries, but we can come in droves of thousands of us. And each one of us, just don't burden yourself, but just take one item. Take a pair of shoes, take a shirt, take a toothbrush, take a pair of pants or a kid toy or something that can benefit somebody's life. And we'll go into a city and we'll just give this stuff away to an orphanage or to a community and make a difference. Why not? Why can't we? How come nobody else is doing this? I mean, okay, that's a wrong statement. How come I feel like nobody else is doing this? I know there's many great organizations and many great things going on out there. Maybe it's just we're not doing enough. So why don't we go on these trips with a purpose? We told the minister that that's one of our goals, that's one of our plans, and I think that's what really struck a chord with him, because he's in the tourism. He knows his country is full of poverty, and he could just saw our vision for a brief moment. We talked about our health app. Do you know that just put the golden seal right on it? That stamped it for him. Because he turned to the gal in the yellow shirt there. And he said, you know, that's our whole next movement, is the health tourism. He said, there's so many people that can come here in this great city that we have. He says, we've got doctors that we endorse, medical clinics that we put our stamp of approval as a country, that they're certified, that they're clean, that they will do a good job for people. You can go down there and get a root canal for $600, and here in the States it'll cost you $3,000 or $4,000. So we can put together these health trips where you can go and go to a country like that, have your medical taken care of, and then go to Punta Cana and stay at the resort and recuperate, and have people there to take care of you while you're there. We're going to put together these. We're in connection with them. Francisco said it best. He said, we are being born together. Being born together. That was the golden seal stamp of approval from him. He says, I want to endorse you. I want you to be on our government website. And we want to do business together. And he said, the next time you'll meet me will be in the presidential palace. The next time we meet together will be in the presidential palace. He sees the vision. He sees us working together for years and years to come. I mean, you guys, this was a truly emotional, incredible, life-altering. I discovered something of myself, that I'm on a mission. This is my life mission. If I got to go it alone, I will. Because this is what I'm doing. And then more importantly, this is what we are doing. Our entire corporate staff is forever changed.
Hey, babe.
Yeah.
I wondered if you could confirm what you meant by if I have to go it alone.
If I have to go it alone with just me and my family, without my
Okay,
fun
I'm
life,
good.
if I have to go on this prospect alone, you know, just me and my family, and we go by ourselves and go take care of people one by one, we will do it. But I know we don't have to go it alone. We can do it together. We can do it with each other. And by having and empowering each one of us, we can make a huge difference. Somebody just came on with a lot of background noise. You can mute up. I'm trying to mute. Oh, turn on. Okay. Jerome, I just muted you. You were a little background noisy.
You know, Dan, I want to share something. Okay. Dan and I were talking earlier today as we were heading to breakfast, and you know, he made a comment that this is MyFunLIFE. We keep the cost down so we can go into all these different countries and make these impacts. And you know, this company really, guys, it's an opportunity for everybody. It's something that we can walk in and help somebody with it. Anybody can afford to get involved and change their life. And really what it comes down to is their desire. You know, and one thing that, you know, impacted Dan says, you know, it changed our life. It really did. What impacted me the most, I think, was that, you know, we're in this beautiful country that looks like paradise. And these people have so little that, but you wouldn't know it. You wouldn't know because you never hear them complain. And all they ever want to do is just, you know, work hard and help everybody out. And so when you talk about desire, you know, I don't care what country you're in, how much money you have. If you've got desire, MyFunLIFE is for you. You know, the money thing will come, but you've got to have the desire to start with.
This business is so much bigger than any of us, and the quest and what we're doing is so important, so much bigger.
I think this trip was definitely a blessing from God, the fact that we got to go out there, because sitting behind our desk and constantly saying, you know, this business is bigger than us. It's so much more. It's so, you know, to sit there and say that day in and day out is one thing, but to get out and see the impact of what it actually is having on lives is really, I think, what our belief levels were high in what we were doing, but now you can't waver us.
Say, Dan, this is Greg Greisner, and I was wondering, when you put together the video and you shoot the video presenting the heartfelt and important and beneficial changes, do you think you can do it in 20 minutes or less?
I'm going to try to do it in 5.
Oh, okay. That'll be good.
Yeah, I just want to keep it really condensed. And
oh, good.
You guys have a little more special attention.
Yeah. That way everybody will, you know, won't get distracted and they'll grasp it quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Does anybody have any
Sorry,
questions?
Can I please ask a couple of questions?
Absolutely.
This is Konstantinos. Okay. First of all, is the coding bonuses, will they be affected? And the second is that from the $4, they go into the matrix and the matching bonuses, the $3. Will there be another bonus, or from the $4 increase only the $3 go to the pay plan? And the last thing is that this change is great. I also talked to three of my people. We all agree with it, but we also think that at some point the changes have to stop. After the launch, will these changes stop?
You know, when we make the change, you know, you've got you're adding it up, going, okay, that's $3. You got 25 cents on 4 levels. There's $1. You're adding, you know, $1 on each level, so you really have $1 extra. Well, it actually is costing the company to make the change, because, you know, what it does, it increases our merchant account fees, check matches that aren't accounted for. You got to pay a higher check match. So, you know, it actually takes and costs the company. It's a 50-cent cost to the company for us to do this. So when we took this in consideration, we had to run all of our numbers over and over and over again. And it actually is a cost. It's a burden of 50 cents per member to make this change for us.
Okay. Okay, I'm not saying that you should give all the $4 back. I'm just saying maybe I didn't understand something correctly. Okay.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're absolutely smart. You're very, very smart.
The coding bonuses?
No change on the coded bonuses, no.
Okay. And these changes, this will be the last change Because
Nope.
I think
We'll be forever changing. Hopefully, this will be the last change as far as the dollar amount for the travel app. But will we have changes? We're going to have many, many changes. People ask that too in the Dominican. You know, is this the last change? No, it's not going to be the last change. If you're not changing and growing, you're dead. Okay? Remember that. If you're not changing and growing, you're dead. We're going to be changing and growing forever. So, is it going to be drastic? Is it going to be for the better? Yes. Is it going to be drastic? Hopefully not. Hopefully we'll make minor adjustments. We are looking at another potential pay increase later. We're working on a model. We're working on numbers. Rob, you know, we're working on some other things I know that you guys are going to be so stinking excited about, especially my diamonds. We've got some really fun stuff. So, anyway, all right, guys. If anybody has any more questions, I'd love to answer them. If not, we'll go ahead and end the call and get on with the rest of our days. If you need to talk, you got to unmute yourself. Okay. Let me see.
If you've been put in timeout, we're going to pull you out of the corner right now.
Yeah. I'm trying to unmute everybody that's red.
Hi.
Hey, Dan. This is Rick Weston. Can I grab your ear for about 5 minutes after we get off the call here? Whoa.
Dog barking. All right, sounds good. Well, we'll go ahead and I guess go from there.
Look forward to the video.
Yeah, and look forward to moving forward.
Hey, Dan, thanks again for everything.
Thank you.
Okay, guys, thank you.
Thanks, guys. Have a good
Thank you, guys.
Over and out.